What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Off the Record. We love Off the Record, and they are looking out for all of you just like they're looking out for me. If you get pulled over for a moving violation in any state in the U.S., don't plead guilty. Get Off the Record. Go to offtherecord.com/TST. That's offtherecord.com/TST. And you get 10% off all legal services booked through Off the Record. They will vigorously fight and defend your position in a court of law. You, trust me, want this. Don't plead guilty. It could affect your insurance, your employment, and any other number of things. Offtherecord.com/TST. Write it down. Have it ready. Yeah. Hey-o. Bienvenidos. Welcome aboard, as it were.
Ahoy, indeed.
Welcome aboard. Ahoy. Pick your naval word. We're on a boat, bitches.
The Floating Tire Podcast.
We've tried so many ways to, tweak it. It's just none of them. They all sound so stupid. But this is the Smoking Tire Podcast break from vacation podcast. We are at Marina Key right now in the British Virgin Islands, and it doesn't look like it if you're watching us on video, because I think that today has really, this whole week has really made me appreciate the aerodynamics of yachts, not just for sailing and stuff like that, but as it pertains to people's comfort, cooling them and whatever, using the wind, because if you go here, it's 20 miles an hour wind. And actually, it's relatively rough out there for this area, but this shot doesn't really show it, because right here where we're sitting, it's very nice.
Yeah, but getting here was a pretty windy experience. It was kicked up to 20 to 25.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So forget today. Zach and I went yachting in 2017. We went to Thailand. 2020 went to Tahiti. We didn't get to do it last year, but 2026, we're in the British Virgin Islands, which is where I went to camp. It's the whitest shit ever. You could say I colonized. No. No, we went to camp. It was sailing camp down here, and you lived and learned and sailed these 50-foot yachts that you rented. You didn't rent. The camp rented from a place called the Moorings, and it's on Tortola, and it's where we now rent these sailboats from. And I was like, let's go back and see it, because there was a hurricane here, Irma. There's still evidence of it.
Yeah, just a couple of years ago. I mean,
yeah.
It caused huge flooding. Buildings got knocked down, of course. Boats, I mean, we yesterday, where we moored, there was a beach, a desolate beach, and we walked, 50 feet away into the mangroves, and there was a boat. Yeah. Just a boat that was a large sailboat beach that had been harvested, engine gone.
Sure.
All the useful stuff had been taken out of that boat, and it was just the carcass.
And on the beach was the mast.
That's true. Right? Yeah, the mast was on the beach.
We saw the mast. I was like, I wonder what belongs to this.
We thought it washed up on shore, but the boat was there too.
And a lot of the old places that I went to as a youngster, like the Bitter End Yacht Club and the marina where this boat came from, and this place. Marina Key and a whole bunch of other places got completely wiped out and were rebuilt to varying degrees of sort of modernity, and now it's very There's way more boats here than there ever were. It's very popular. There's a ton of mooring balls places rather than open anchoring like there used to be. Places like the Baths, which were pretty open 25 years ago, are now very kind of amusement parky.
Well, there's a lot more cruise ships I was reading, and that's contributing to some of the coral death we've seen, unfortunately.
And that's not to say it's not cool. It's lovely here, and the wind has been very strong. So actually, we've gotten some really nice sailing in the boat, this is called a Leopard 46. It's a big catamaran. As far as quality of sailing, they sort of suck. It's effectively like driving two RVs side by side strapped together.
It's like a cab over van,
Yeah.
Or two RVs. Just it catches all the wind. Not the sails catch the wind, but also this frontal area. The coefficient of drag would be 100.
It's like driving two buses at once, basically. But it is very nice to live on. And if you're watching the video, you can see the background, going back and forth. It's way better on this than it would be on a monohull boat, even though those boats would sail better.
Oh, in terms of the rocking?
Yeah,
definitely.
Like if you look at well,
those lean over, when they sail.
Oh,
These do a little bit, but not that much.
Yeah, you don't have to make sure that your dishes are all like locked up, on this boat most of the time, which is cool.
Yeah, it's an amazing way to see any area like this.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best
so
way to
special.
see almost anywhere. Even countries that are like not all that amazing usually have pretty nice coastlines. Like you can see, like the thing about boating is it makes a pretty small place feel pretty big. Like the sail we did that was like 3 hours today. It was like 20 miles. Like
wow.
Yeah, it's like it's not far.
But you go past 3 islands,
Yeah.
Each one of them feels like their own world. And we tuck into this place. We tried to go to another place. It was too busy. You get out of the wind.
I mean,
we're kind of looking for parking spots.
A perfect example of how not far you go when sailing boats like this is, we left Tortola. We sailed to Norman Island overnight. And this was our first stop. And in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning, our generator dies. Zach and I and Tim wake up and we poke around the generator, like very sleepy, and quickly discern that it's actually thrown its belt. Like there's a shroud over it, so you can't see it immediately. But if you peek around enough, you can see the belt is like shredded. So, all right. So no generator. And in the morning, I call like the moorings customer service, and actually pretty good endorsement of them. And they're like, all right, well, where are you going to be for the next 12 hours? And I said, well, I'm going to leave here and I'm going to go here. Great, we'll meet you there. And the guy comes over, and looks at it, has a bunch of generator belts, so clearly this is a thing, realizes he doesn't have the one we need. He goes, I got to go back to base. I'll be back in 45 minutes. And I'm like, bullshit. But no, he was. He had a really fast
boat. And took off. It was pretty cool.
So he's the distance that we're sailing in days. This guy's our entire week sailing distance is probably the service tech's day.
Their route, that's
it's probably their day.
Whereas if we've done any of our road trip stuff or off-road trips, we often cover hundreds of miles, multiple states. And stuff like that.
We're hardly covering anywhere.
Yeah.
We're basically doing a lap around Tortola.
Home Depot.
The islands around Tortola, which is a nice way to see the Caribbean.
Dude, it's gorgeous here. I've never been here before, so it's
nice. It's great.
So stunning.
Yeah.
It's stunning. Yeah.
The islandscapes are really fun. The sunsets are really amazing. This boat is a nice place to live, but when you get on a new boat that you haven't operated before. The first day, it's like getting a new car. Like, we get in new cars all the time. Mm-hmm. And normally you get in, if press car's dropped off, you sit in it for 10 minutes and you set up your phone, and set your mirrors, whatever. You ever have a press car delivered and you had to be somewhere? You just had to get in it and go?
You just jump in, start going, and then you don't know where the volume control is.
Yeah. It's actually harder to do that. I'm in a rush. Press car's been delivered. I got somewhere to be. Get in it. Put it in D. Go. And now I'm trying to navigate through traffic while setting up this other shit. You know what I mean? And and it's kind of panicky. But with sailing, you can't do that. You can't figure out how is the sail going to go up until you put the sail up. You can't figure out how it's going to do certain things just on the dock.
Well, it's what is the rate that this will steer?
Yeah.
A car would steer, And so is the sail going to go up smoothly and easily or not? And I don't know.
So
there's so many systems here. And the throttle. You have 2 engines on this boat, and one of them, you said, responds very quickly to the stick, and the other one doesn't.
So if you have a great boat, the 2 throttles will be exactly the same. If you have a rental boat, or an older boat, or a crappier boat, they may not be, right? And anyone can adjust. I don't know, adjust. My dad's Whaler. There's to have even acceleration with the 2 engines, the throttles have to be about an inch apart. Thumb. It's nice because your thumb, if you wrap your right 2 knuckles around the right one, operate the left one by pushing it with your thumb, it keeps it roughly in the right spread. But it took me a while to learn that, to get my hand set up to this one, it's fucking wonky.
This makes me never want to own one of the Z-Car Minis. You know, they have those twin engines in the back. And that's great when it's perfectly tuned. But the day that it goes out a little bit, out of sync, and you can't have 2 feet on the gas or something, that would just be problematic.
Well, and the reason it really comes into play in a catamaran is because when you're docking, when you're mooring or anchoring or whatever, you're not steering with the wheel at all. The wheel is in fact locked. You're driving it like a tank. And so if the engines don't respond the same, it's going to take you a minute to figure that out. And it came into play. Folks, taking a quick break because HelloFresh is in the house, and I love HelloFresh. Actually, not because it's so healthy, although that's a good move, but because it allows me to do the thing I like doing, cooking, without doing the thing I don't like doing, thinking about what to cook, right? Bringing everyone together with meals that are simple and rewarding, but not having to spend the second half of my day searching recipes endlessly, buying more than I need, figuring out what to go where. Instead, HelloFresh is in the house. I can choose from more than 100 recipes each week, including cuisines from around the world and meals that help beat the winter blues. They've got bigger portions to satisfy everyone. They've got high protein. They've got Mediterranean, GLP-1 friendly. They've got the chef specials. Oh my gosh, that's so good. You can feel great with wholesome ingredients like sustainably sourced seafood and 100% antibiotic and hormone-free chicken. Now, there's now 3 times the seafood for no upcharge, and you can impress guests or treat yourself with new grass-fed steak ribeyes. Man, I love HelloFresh also because when you get the recipes from HelloFresh, you just keep them in a little folder in your kitchen. Before you know it, you've got a cookbook, and when you need to cook that recipe later, maybe for a big group or for a party or for someone else's family, like if you've got a second family, you don't want them to know that your real wife is getting the HelloFresh. You know how it is. Then you can bring the recipe card over and make it later, right? It's so delicious. You can go to HelloFresh.com/SmokingTire10FM to get 10 free meals and a free Zwilling knife, a $145 value, on your 3rd box. Offer valid while supplies last. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. HelloFresh.com/SmokingTire10FM to get 10 free meals and a free Zwilling knife on your 3rd box. 10FM. Both the learning how to get the sails up correctly and learning how to set up our mooring lines correctly and learning how to effectively steer it tank style happened in like a 20-knot wind the first night trying to anchor. It's like incredibly tricky and we had to get a little reinforcements from our buddy Nat's captain.
Oh, that's true.
To help set up the mooring lines so we knew how to fucking do it right.
Yeah, it was a trial by fire for sure.
They set up mooring lines on this boat differently than our last boat. Like we had like one big cleat on the last boat that you just threw the thing on, and here you have to like make a bridle, and like we just hadn't prepared for that, so we were trying to like figure out how to make this bridle while I'm trying to like keep. It was just
in real time, essentially. Yeah.
Fortunately, it's gone much better since then.
That's why I said we learned quickly, because since then we've been perfect because we're so paranoid about being that bad again.
Yeah.
And now we're perfect.
And now, like today, coming over here, like we were going for a different anchorage, and we dawdled a bit, and the moorings that we wanted were gone. They're first come, first serve, and those were taken, so we couldn't get that. So this was a backup. And while that happened, the wind really, really, really kicked up, and we were like, oh no, like we don't want to not have a good safe spot when it's like really windy like this. And I've never anchored this particular boat in 25-knot winds. It's probably fine, but do I want to risk that? No.
It's unnerving.
Not really. So there's a company now, since the last time we've gone boating, called Boaty Ball, which is a privately owned mooring company, and they drop moorings in public popular places, and you reserve them online. I suppose like you would an Airbnb or something like that. I mean, it's a pretty easy. It's a pretty easy app. It's not an app. It's a website that you do from your phone, and it's easy to book one. But on the map that shows where the moorings are, it doesn't. I'm not on that map. There's no me overlay.
Right.
So like as I approach the mooring field, it's like, okay, well your mooring's here, but I don't know where you are. You know, so you can get an idea. But like for us, we had to be like look at all these, and every other boat who's come in here has been like, is that number 19? I don't know. Like
it's like if you use Google Maps to go to a restaurant, but it just told you the city block it's on. It didn't say in front of this store, this store, this store. It's just kind of general area.
It seems like for an app that's used exclusively for people on yachts, they should invest in a GPS overlay.
Yeah, they should. Yeah.
It's actually pretty amazing how useful Google Earth has become for boating.
Dude.
Because you can see where the sandy spot is in the anchorage. You can actually see your location versus like coral and sometimes even better than like the boat GPS. You know?
Yeah, it's really detailed, the satellite imagery, as long as it's up to date enough that like there hasn't been a El Nino hurricane thing that like made a new beach or made a new sandbar or something like that.
Right. But it is, man. This is the way to travel, and when you're captaining the boat yourself and doing it yourself, it keeps your brain just enough engaged. I think, like it does require like thinking and problem solving and like real decision making. A lot.
But most of it's done at a speed that's kind of relaxing.
Yeah.
And then there's always like a 10-minute pocket of decisions where it's like, that your processor speeds up a lot.
Right. It's like just enough something and just enough nothing.
Yes, perfectly said.
This is interesting because like right now the wind and the current are not at the same angle, and that's why the boat was sort of going side to side. I sort of wish the boat would stay a little more straight into the current.
I think the wind is shifting right now. Yeah.
We're behind a coral reef, so it's breaking up the swells, but it's not stopping the wind.
Sure
but
isn't.
Screen went to sleep. But we elected to be on a mooring here where it's windy, rather than attempt an anchor in a strange place where it's a little less windy, but still really fucking windy. So safety first, sometimes. You know why safety first? Because our boat came off anchor in fucking Thailand.
That's why.
That's why safety first.
It's really called safety deposit first. That's what we're doing. Safety deposit first.
No deposit, no problem, right? The deposit's on the TST Mach, Zach.
It still exists.
Woo!
That's
Amex. Did you see my? You've seen my mirror Amex? I'm very happy.
Yeah, you're like, you have to call them and ask for it, right?
Oh look, is that gold boat of bros we saw this morning? The black and gold? Yeah. There's
some tattoos and tans, is what I'm calling that boat.
Dude, there's some really cool boats down here. I mean, there's obviously 80% of the boats are just these big fat charter catamarans like ours, full of big fat Americans like me. In fact, in most cases, bigger and fatter.
Very true.
If I'm honest. But some of the privately owned boats that are down here, I mean, if your boat is like big enough for you to sail it down here from somewhere else, if it's a big yacht or a big catamaran or something like that, it's pretty sick, and you can tell when someone's like been from far away.
Well, Hannah talked to those people that sailed the Atlantic in their cat, and their cat was only a little bigger than this one.
Was that the one with the fabric?
Yes.
They sailed across the Atlantic?
from the Atlantic.
No way.
Yeah.
That's pretty boss.
You probably got to choose the right season.
Oh,
for that,
sure.
Right? Like, you can't take this into big, winter ocean.
Well, but there are a lot of people that do that. Like it's a very cool thing to do, but it's not that uncommon. Oh. And with prep, people can do it on a boat. Like, remember, wasn't it in Thailand where on the very last day when we returned the boat, there was like a couple in their 60s on a boat like ours? It was a couple down the dock, and they had like a bunch of fuel drums here. And we were like, oh, what's up with that? And she was like, oh, we just shuttled this boat to Thailand from the British Virgin Islands. I was like, I'm sorry, what? She's like, yeah, we sailed it through the Panama Canal, across the Pacific Ocean to Thailand.
Just carries 600 gallons of fuel.
Yeah,
Whoa.
and I was like, and what did you, what? Like, it was her and her husband, and she was like, we read all the books, and she said they motor sailed. She said they ran the engines at 2,000 RPM. And
for a month.
When there was, for a month. And they had like, I don't know, whatever it was, 800 gallons of fuel. And one of the staterooms was like totally full of like canned goods and shit. And that was their job.
Oh,
she said they were going to sail it.
People.
For the moorings.
Oh,
for this company.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like, because there's seasonal, you rent a boat 6 months in advance. They go, someone's got to get one of these things over there.
Sure, I thought they would just put a bunch of these on like a larger container ship and just add it to the shipment. Wow.
I bet whenever they come from, because these are built in South Africa, I bet they come to wherever, the Caribbean, 20, 30 at a time, probably, but
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a cool way to see things, It's like people that buy expensive van life vans and when they're 60 and they just want to tour the national parks, do it with a boat.
Yeah.
I get it.
But yeah, I think they said it was a month.
I would do that once, but I want to be on a bigger boat for sure.
Yeah.
With someone who like really knows what they're doing and has done it 10 times.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. But we saw, speaking of bigger boats, we were at the Bitter End Yacht Club, which is a cool spot that's rebuilt after the hurricanes. And they had these maxi class, racing sailboats there, and they're about to have like maxi race week or something with 12 of these things. I mean, imagine seeing 12 of these things racing like, head to head across an ocean. It'd be pretty These boats are 75 to 100 feet long.
All carbon fiber.
All carbon.
Everything carbon fiber.
Big open decks, crews of 25 people, and they can go 25, 30 knots. It's a huge boat going really fast.
Which, didn't we calculate as like 50, 60 miles per hour?
No, it's 1.2.
I thought it was 1.85.
Knots to miles an hour?
Oh, that was knots to kilometers.
Knots to kilometers.
Right.
Yeah. No, knots to miles an hour is 1.2. So it was amazing to see them up close, and I guess the racing is probably going to be happening it's like now, right? It's like this weekend. Yeah, we left a couple days ago, but it's like pretty much now. And really cool stuff. Huge money.
You can see it. The amount of carbon fiber on that thing, the size of the boat itself, the mast, the 2 steering wheels,
and they had the big toolboxes, like a race team.
Toolboxes are made of carbon fiber.
They had rolled out on the dock, like almost like a, like an IMSA team or something. Has the toolboxes. It's
like all the things they could need.
Yeah, it's like that.
Jeez,
fucking awesome. Oh, there's the wind again.
Your tax dollars at work.
It's
sailboat racing in the BVI.
Right? Oh man, nothing says I'm like. Outside of I'm starting a space company or something. Like I'm racing huge yachts.
But wait, didn't someone say that only one boat owner races their own yacht? The other ones just keep them like racehorses, and they're like, yes, go, win, and then they get to hold the trophy.
And not only that, they come down on their own super yacht to go out and watch the race from their yacht while watching their other yacht. It's you thought. I mean, dude. You think you think you're rich.
I don't.
And I mean, you're probably even you are probably global 5% or something.
Oh, that's
right?
probably true.
But when you see that .00, the .0001, you're like, what the fuck?
It's weird. I get you can own a race team and there's always like the team principal and they run the team and they're on the boat effectively. The car analogy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just seems like if you're so interested in the sport, and you don't have to be in the car driving it, you could be on the boat as the owner. Oh yeah,
there's so many jobs on the boat.
So why not be there while it's happening and just let the minions do the stuff?
So when I worked at Foot Locker back in the day, I was a really good worker. I was great at sales, great with people. I put up numbers. I was really good at selling fucking shoes. But it was always a little weird because I wasn't quite like the other people, right? Whatever, fine. So I've been trying to outwork that for a while. I can imagine what that's like, what that might be like if you're the team owner, but you're also like, I want to be there, but I'm not good enough to skipper this thing, so I'm going to hire someone else to run it, and I'm going to be like a grinder or whatever, but there's going to be like 2 people in charge over me, but I'm also writing their checks. Like,
and you're not going to be as good at any of those like grinder, whatever it's called, deckhand things, because you don't do it that often. You only do it for your races.
Yeah.
They're probably doing it all the time.
Yeah.
So you're holding the team back while this 26-year-old's like, no, good job, Mr. Stevens. Yeah, we loop it the other way. There you go. Yeah, no, it's good.
They're
and then
back,
he's got to just go
back,
get his cash check.
You're back, then you're back at the nice your yacht because you're sleeping on your yacht,
right?
And then they're sleeping in the belly of the racing boat on like ugly bunks, going. We could have fucking won that,
right? Yeah.
If if Count Von, Count Von Coxman didn't need to fucking be a part of the team, we would have had a shot.
Yeah, that's a tough thing. It's like with car stuff. At a certain point, the owner goes, "I'm not going to race the car anymore. I'm not fast enough, but we could win this thing."
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. At a certain point, Ray Hall Letterman Racing hires other drivers.
Yeah.
Guys, taking a quick break because support's coming in liquid from AG1 today. We have liquid support. You can take a break from your school or work routine, but stay consistent with your health, like Zach and I are doing on a yacht right now with the AG1. That's how we're getting those vitamins and minerals while we're out there not getting scurvy on the boat. You feel me? They've got the AG1 travel packs to celebrate the adventure. That's what I'm talking about. You can come out of your winter slump and reset for the season ahead. Me, I'm just making sure I get all my vitamins and minerals and veggies every single day. AG1 is a daily health drink clinically shown to support gut health and fill in common nutrient gaps with 75 plus ingredients, including 5 clinically studied probiotic strains. AG1 replaces the need for a multivitamin, probiotics, and more. It's very challenging to stay consistent with your nutrients every day as your schedule is all over the place. Maybe you're traveling to 3 different countries in a week like I am sometimes, and that's why you can take advantage of each morning and make sure that you get every nutrient you need in one place. That's where AG1 comes from. The superfoods and B vitamins in AG1 provide nutritional support to help you stay steady and consistent, and daily energy support keeps you moving throughout the spring. It helps your immune system with support that helps you stay at your best. It's got antioxidants, probiotics, and functional mushrooms. And an AG1 Next Gen delivers 5 strains of clinically studied probiotics shown to support digestion, immune function, and alleviate occasional bloating. So, do you want to poop better? Do you want to have better nutrients? Do you want to have a better, stronger immune system? You're going to need that AG1. Go to drinkag1.com/tire to get an AG1 flavor sampler and a bottle of vitamin D3 and K2 for free in your AG1 welcome kit with your first AG1 subscription order. Only while supplies last. That's drinkag1.com/tire.
But
I see both sides of it. Yeah.
But no, if you're racing yachts and you're skippering the race yacht and it's your fucking boat, that's pretty boss. That is like I kind of respect that.
Definitely.
That I respect that more than owning a race yacht that you're not on.
Same as if you were chief engineer of a race team, whatever series, IMSA. It doesn't even matter if it's IMSA, GTD, GT Pro. Then if you are the owner but also head engineer or team principal, and you have to orchestrate that entire team from beginning to end, and the effort that goes into it to then win something is enormous.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
Yeah. But the visual of watching maybe they have a YouTube channel. It's like North Sound Maxi Week or something like that. Virgin Gorda Maxi Week 2026. Wait a minute, dude. Look. Is that... Oh, I thought I saw a dozen black sails, but it was just a dark part of an island. See over there where that could be? It's the drugs. It's just the drugs. I'm just loose. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Those do look like that.
Huh?
That does look like a sail.
Doesn't that look like a whole bunch of tall black sails?
I see one of them. There's also a lot of rocks, but there is one tall black sail over there.
The boats are all carbon, and these sails are Kevlar, and they're normally black or kind of gray. Not sure why
there is a film called North Sound Maxi Regatta 2025.
Yeah, fucking go check that out. I bet it's sick. That would be what a gig that would be to film.
Last year was the first race.
It used to be called. I mean, they've raced.
It used to be the Kotex 24, and then they sold it.
Yes, and then it was the Tampax Nationals, right?
That would be so funny.
Yeah, talk about the dopest class of boat with the weirdest fem name. Maxi it implies things that is not necessarily what it is. They're big fucking boats though. They're sweet.
Huge.
But it's like a crew of. If you've got a big giant yacht, like, of course you have a crew of 25 because there's like serving you food and all this stuff. You got one of these things. You got a crew of 25. They do nothing but sail. Like, they keep the boat clean and they sail it, but like they're not serving you. You know what I mean? That's not like a luxury yacht crew. That's a racing crew. So the amount you have to employ the same number of people or more, and then you have to employ other people on your other also like that, dude. That's not you got like 80 people just for essentially for you to jack off.
Well, it's like like a commercial jet. It's A380.
Yeah.
So you've got pilot, co-pilot, maybe one other person up there, and then they've got, I don't know, staff of 10, let's just say.
Yeah.
But you could be flying like one of those Air Force radar planes. Something where basically the focus of the aircraft is so scientific or so ballistic that it requires lots of people just to fly the plane and operate the systems versus serving 400 people food.
Sure. Fuck. It's just like, but like just for yourself, not for like a government or science, like just for you.
Your own private spaceship.
Just for you to jack off to my racing yacht. That's crazy. Ugh. But you know what's even crazier than that shit though? You really want to get down there, is classic maxi yacht racing. Like, oh yeah, you think it's expensive to race Le Mans? Like, try running a Porsche 917 for a a season.
Right, irreplaceable vehicle. Yeah.
So now you've got these like what are called J-class yachts, which is like old America's Cup from like 1910, where the boat is huge and it looks like a big like schooner, like a fucking. It's got like 19 sails.
It's all
on
made
it.
of wood.
Yes.
Whoa.
And if you see one in a harbor, like we saw them in Newport. There's a couple of them in Newport. They'll stop you in your tracks if you see one because nothing more beautiful has ever been built for purposes of sailing. They're the prettiest things ever made. They probably cost, deep 7 figures a year just to keep fucking floating.
Right, just to keep the varnish on the wood.
Oh my God.
Polish and seal,
But it's like at that point you're talking about like maintaining what is effectively irreplaceable art.
Yeah. Well, with the boat we saw, the crazy pirate schooner in the bay yesterday, 2 days ago, like it's a 6-year-old, right? No, 15-year-old replica of a pirate ship. So
yeah,
it's a steel hull.
Yes.
But then it has all the super masts, all the big sails. It's called the
Stad Amsterdam.
Right.
Stad, yeah. And you could apparently charter it.
You can like rent it and stuff. But that's
it
the
looks
remake.
like a fucking Black Pearl. I mean, it's like it is a big pirate ship.
That's the Goodwood replica of the Ferrari 250 LM.
But you could go on their website. They had like adventures or something. They're sailing it across the ocean.
That would
like
be rad.
you could sign up to do an Atlantic crossing on that. That would actually be kind of the shit.
I would, because then you get to watch these people sail a pirate ship across the Atlantic.
Yeah,
but it's more
presumably
reliable.
safely.
Yeah, that's a good point because a lot of those boats did sink.
It has an engine. It's got a motor.
It have an engine. It's steel hull, not wood.
So
it's not going to break apart.
Yeah, but like this, I totally understand if cars become super sucky, I could get real heavy into boats. And it wouldn't be that hard.
Well, someone asked a question, not to jump ahead, but if we lived in a place like this, would we keep our car enthusiasm going by owning a car, or would you just kind of move on to a different hobby?
How absolute shit was the drive from the airport to the marina?
Yeah, it would not. It was a twisty, very bumpy road with lots of houses.
Yeah.
So it was everything we don't like about a driving road.
Yeah. I think if we lived in a place like this, and I mean the islands, like literally the islands, we'd have to have like a couple dirt bikes and find a couple trails, maybe.
Do that and a sim racer. And that'll be my motor vehicle.
Yeah, there's nowhere to drive
enthusiasm.
here. If I lived, I was thinking, like, if I had to move to Florida, like, if Hannah got some amazing job in Miami or whatever, South Florida, and we had to move to Florida, obviously, it's very difficult to enjoy cars in Florida, but if you have even a if I could sell 80% of the cars and keep daily and like Countach and have a fucking sick boat and be on it every day. Mm-hmm. Boat life in South Florida is what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're in that club, Whole different story. Same with this.
You go sailboat though, not super power boat, right?
Not in Miami.
Yeah.
Miami, you don't want a sailboat, but here, oh boy, that's scaring me. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, here, sailboat, absolutely sailboat. I don't know if I can own one of these catamarans though. I think I'd have to have a monohull. They're just much prettier.
But if you want to host people, this is the way to do it. Mm-hmm. But I think to sail, like the monohull just slips through the water, and this is kind of like it's twisting and moving and doing a lot of this stuff.
There are, in fairness, the only catamarans I've sailed have been these rental ones. I've never sailed like a great. There's a couple of these like Tim's obsessed with these performance catamarans, which to me a performance catamaran is like the X5M. It's like why?
Yeah,
you know
it's
what
fast
I mean?
for a catamaran.
Yeah, like accept your fucking fate, Habibi. It's but I'm told that they can be quite fast. I know like there are some racing catamarans that are insanely fast.
But the market will always try to offer us everything. So you go, well, I like the monohull because it's quicker, but the cat has all the space. And someone goes, and they build the thing, and they go, it's both.
Yeah.
And asterisk.
The aesthetic of a monohull sailboat it's just too pretty for me. I would have to have one that really had a well thought out, spacious deck, because what the cat has is the top deck. That kind of space that you don't really get on a lot of the monohulls because there's lines and then there's the pilot house or whatever. It's just
you can't
not enough.
use it.
Right. So but a really well designed one that has a big spacious deck is like about that. Should we talk about cars?
Yeah.
Everybody wants us to. Wow, this is a big plane. We should hold for aircraft. Everybody wants us to talk about the Montana thing, right? That's a heavy
big
boy.
Prop plane.
Yeah, heavy boy. Most of our anchorages are not within earshot of the airport, but
no.
Today was a beggars can't be choosers day, which look where we are. Like, if we have to listen to a plane every 20 minutes until sunset, I can live with myself.
Last few days we felt so remote that when I heard a plane, I got confused.
Last night
was
was dark. Mm-hmm. I was hoping tonight would be even darker, but
not with all the people.
Not here. No, not here. No.
Yeah.
It turns out that is going to be the darkest. And then tomorrow night we're going to Joost van Dyke, which is not
a DJ.
Not an EDM DJ, but an island that has a lot of beach bars and stuff. It's Party Island. So, anyway, cars. The Montana thing.
The Montana
right?
thing, right?
Right. Everyone like so many people sent me this. Finally. About once every 2-3 years, some politician or criminal justice employee does a little something about this, and it becomes news, right? In this case, it was some dealers that were registering cars in Montana for people that clearly did not live there.
Right. So, the headline on Road and Track is that the California Attorney General cracking down on Montana registered supercars. They indicted 14 on tax fraud charges. The cars in this example are a 918 Spider, a Ferrari F12 TDF, a McLaren Elva, among the vehicles that were, illegally registered elsewhere, but only driven in California.
And all cars that could be registered here.
That's
right?
the big thing.
Yeah.
Because we've had some people DM us and say, like, well, it's probably because the cars can't be registered in Cali. You go, no.
Yeah.
Like, that's some of them, but I would bet the majority are people who are just skipping taxes.
Well, I saw the list of cars, and I went, oh, no, these are all limited production, but from big OEMs where the cars could be sold in California. Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, so at the dealer level, and because I'm a car dealer, I know this. Like you're responsible for collecting that sales tax if you know that car is going to be sold in California. This came into play for me with my with my JDM cars as well, because my JDM cars couldn't be sold in California, so I had to ship them to South Carolina and to ship them back, because that's how because you can't register them in California, like those back of the Skyline, whatever. And that was the only way that the dealer would sell them to me. They would not sell them to me to stay in California because they couldn't, because it's on the dealer. So it's very difficult to prosecute a person for driving a Montana registered car. Why? Because the car's not registered to them. It's registered to some fucking LLC, and you pull someone over on a Montana tag, and they go, well, it's not my car. And if they're smart, their name won't be on the insurance card. It'll just be some business and not their fucking name. But like it's hard to get someone on that unless you the same cop repeatedly sees the same dude. So it's very difficult to prosecute that. Whereas if there are dealers that have a habit, are known for registering cars in Montana that they know aren't going there, well, yeah, fucking start with them. That's a good place to start if you're going to do enforcement.
Sure, it's the bigger fish.
Yeah.
California wants the money, like the tax revenue they would get from these cars.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I get mad. For me, it's like a fairness thing. You see expensive cars. The person clearly has the money to buy the car.
Yeah.
Wants to live in California. Like, pay the cost to be the boss.
Yeah.
We see like new
and
Land
then they
Rovers
regularly
in Malibu.
complain about the shittiness of California.
Look, I know that the amount of money that is probably being, siphoned off or, saved is not enough to fix all of California's problems. But if all you're doing is dodging taxes and then you complain about problems that could possibly be solved with money, then like it just frustrates me to no end.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if this is a sustained push, or you get your headline. Maybe they scare a few dealers in line that weren't, operating above board, and then we don't hear about it again for 2 years, which is what's happened, by the way, for the last 10, 15 years. Oh, they're going to crack down, and then then fucking nothing.
Well, it's like, speed patrolled by radar signs. So it works, and it works. It's the nudge. So if you go after the dealers, individuals who are doing this might go, "Ooh, I should probably switch mine to Cali. I'll pay the taxes because I don't want to get in trouble and taken to court by the AG." So it works on the individual level through the knock-on effect. But they don't have to get prosecuted to have that effect.
Right. And look, if you've got an expensive car that cannot be registered in California, like I understand your plight. I really do. And I'm not gonna everyone's on their own adventure in life.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I just so I okay, good, yes, finally someone's doing something. We'll see if it's sustained.
I wish California has to recognize its place in the car world. I mean, all these design studios are in SoCal, manufacturers, offices of all kinds. Like the influence of California on car culture is huge. But I wish they had avenues so that people who had JDM cars could register them. If the new Leno's law went forward, things that would help people bring their cars to Cali. And then if you also have a new Ferrari that can absolutely be registered here, then go after them too. So just keep build the systems to help people bring the cars here, and then enforce the systems that should be enforced.
Yeah, because you could. It's effectively the iTunes model, right? Oh, people are pirating music. We'll make it easy for them to buy it, and they just will.
Right. If people are bringing GTRs here anyway, help them do it. Get some money for the state. There's only 200 GTRs in the state, like R34s and earlier. Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, we support this, but we are taking a real wait and see. One story and one big bust is not enough of a change, really.
Do you want to go to the Patreon?
Is that it?
That's all we had. Oh, and then, this is a developing story.
We didn't talk about the fucking 911 yet.
The
giveaway car.
Yeah, we should talk about we'll move this to the front.
We should.
I'll move it to the front.
We'll take the third part last. We don't have to do that. That's okay. Dude, 911. We're giving away a 911 Turbo S. This is crazy. From a boat. We're giving away. This
2025 911 Turbo S. Optioned to hell. Or actually to heaven, really.
Yeah. Very pretty car. And it is a charitable giveaway, charitable adjacent, and they've done a good thing. We're partnered with Dream Giveaways. They've been around for a long time. They've done a ton of giveaways. They list the the registration numbers and everything for the charities, so you know that they're like legit. It's a good thing. So it's very simple. There's not a lot of merch you have to buy. It's a donation to the charity, and all the terms and conditions, the eligibility, all that stuff is on the website. But we basically took this car stock and we tweaked it a little bit. Not in a bunch of warranty voiding ways, because it's a $275,000 brand new car, but in ways that make it like a little more to our liking. Set up for canyon driving, for fast touring. So over the next 3 months, you're going to see a series of videos on the YouTube channel detailing what we've done with the car, and you can take it home. Plus, they're throwing in $75K for the taxes. Not the state sales taxes, the income tax offset, like, right? So you can, if you win the car, it counts as income, and they give you money to pay the taxes against the. So you can keep the car if you want. You don't have to. You're not like, holy shit, I got to sell the car to pay the taxes. Like, you could probably keep the car if you figure this one out. But it's ridiculously fast.
Oh my God.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable. 18 ways. All the Turbo S goodies. Glass roof. 18 ways.
Rear
and
wiper.
Rear wiper.
Right.
Love the rear wiper. Painted engine louvers. Very rare
subtle,
option.
but look really
Ice
nice.
gray metallic. Looks fabulous. Plus, not to give it away, but some wheels, some suspension.
Right. We did some things.
We did a few things. Yeah. So the link will be in the show. Obviously we do earn some money from this, so you're helping to support us, and you could win a car. I mean, like an awesome car, like an extremely sick car.
Like a car you could drive for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
and in 4 seasons, absolutely.
Yeah, Magnus was just on
Yeah.
the show. He's got a 200,000 mile one of these.
Yeah, he bought it with 165,
Yeah.
and now he's got over 200 on it.
You could win this car, and you could daily drive it for 20 years, like easily. People do that in 911 turbos like pretty regularly,
I
actually.
mean, Magnus is a great example. When I saw his car when he bought it, I went, "This is such a good idea." And then he's got 40,000 more miles on it. Like I would truly love to just live with a Turbo S for a very, very long time.
I'm very impressed at how in Magnus's car the leather's held up. You see how much fucking metal that dude wears on him? He's got like studs.
That's true. He's
spikes,
got like the skull belt
fucking
buckle and
rings
all that stuff. Yeah.
and all this stuff. His leather ain't tore up. That's crazy.
Well, when he first bought the car, the passenger seat was pristine because no one sat in it.
Yeah, the guy
that owned it
commuted-
just like.
What did he commute back and forth to Vegas or something every week?
Yeah, he was like a sort of traveling salesman who just
Yeah.
drove long distance all the time. So his seat was like worn in but not torn or anything, and the other seat looked brand new.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that life. I'm not sure. I mean, if anyone could do it, Porsche could do it, and I didn't sit in that seat. But like, their seats tend, like the 18 ways, like they tend to hold up pretty well over time. I think anyway. I mean, my Taycan seat like doesn't feel like worn in all weird. Even it was only 25,000 miles, but.
Can we talk yet about where we took the car, or should we save that? Like where we drove it?
We'll save that.
Okay.
Save that.
All right.
Make them fucking wait, dude. You build the suspense.
Roll it out at the same. Roll it out along with the
Build
videos.
the-
There's going to be 4 videos about the car.
Yeah.
So watch for those shots of the car, what we did with it, where we took it, etc., etc. And there will be a link in the description of this show to enter to win. And then also the about page from Dream Giveaway if you want to see the charities they work with and all the other stuff, the how it works, etc.
I'm pretty stoked for this one. Someone's gonna win a fucking nasty car. And the only watch I brought on this trip is the Brosen Ferry, I think we might call it.
That's pretty
Brosen
good.
Ferry.
That's good.
Notice Canyon. I've gone in the ocean with it. Salt water every single day. It's great. The new clasp has not come off, not come loose. It's very, very comfortable. And these are going to be going on sale really soon, but it has passed. It's passed the oceaneering test.
Yeah.
So far, so I'm very excited about that.
Your clasp outlasted my Whoops clasp.
Oh, Zach lost his.
If they sell a diving version of that bracelet, get it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you'll lose your Whoop.
Yeah, that's a bummer. We're gonna have to get another one of those. Oh, is our neighbor coming in? Got another catamaran coming in pretty hot here.
That person must be anchored, right?
That guy's anchored.
All right.
Yeah. I'm not. I didn't. I mean, respect, but I'm not anchoring.
You just
out
make
there.
your own parking spot sometimes.
I mean that you can, and someone out there who is a very experienced yachtsman is gonna be like, you fucking pussy, you won't anchor in 25. Just do it 7-1, bro. You're fine with 7-1, but like. It's a rented boat, man. Like, I don't know.
It's all relative. Like, last time we did this was 6 years ago. Last time we
Yeah.
did before that was 3 years before that.
Yeah.
So if we took that person on a racetrack and they'd never been on a racetrack, and we're just
yeah.
like, just brake it to 2-board, dude. You can do it. Brake, trail brake off. Just make sure you roll on perfectly. Otherwise, you hit the wall. They're gonna be like, what? No, I'm braking it to 5. So.
No, you're totally right.
Yeah.
You're totally right. Although, I mean, we did see some speed in this thing on day one. In like 18 to 20 knots of wind on a broad reach, we saw 9.4 at one point. And then today, a lot of wind. It was like 20 to 25 miles an hour. Flying dead downwind with just the jib, we were going 6.5 to 7, pretty steady, which is like pretty, for a fat 46-foot boat like this is good. Should we get to the questions?
Sure.
Before we get to the questions, should we judge our neighbors more?
Parking jump.
Yeah. I'm sure everybody was judging us.
First of all, the pole's not extended yet,
Oh boy.
so he's not really ready.
Mooring 29. Oh, they're going further in?
Oh, okay.
No, they're probably going here. This dude's coming in hot, dude. This
Going
guy's
fast.
so hot.
It's gonna stretch down.
Wow. He's
not-
going to overshoot this by so far. Oh my God, he's going to.
Oh, he slams on the brakes. All right, they got it.
Did he really?
Yeah,
Wow, that dude hockey stopped
he
that
did.
motherfucker.
He really did.
Wow.
They went from like 5 to 0 in like 50 feet.
That is so aggressive.
All right.
Maybe we have something to learn.
I like our method.
I like to.
I'd rather approach slowly.
I like to approach docks.
Because if they had overshot it, if that guy hadn't hooked it right then the ball's in the middle.
This guy is he's using a lot of throttle. Is he on, by the way, or did he miss?
They're on, but only with one.
Oh, you know what? Fuck this. We gave this guy a lot of credit for some move, and by the way, what has he done? He's cocked it right up, hasn't he?
For people listening, you're supposed to get 2 different ropes on the mooring ball, and they've got one on, but now the ball is
But now the
behind
ball's
them.
like way
Kinda
off
behind
to the
them.
side and behind them, and now they're.
Watch your
now
fingers.
This guy's.
Watch your fingers.
Oh boy.
What, you're gonna let go, sir. Let go, sir.
Let go. Yeah.
I've learned that too. I'm like, I'm not strong enough to hold this giant
And
boat.
look, I only judge other people because I know for a fact that they're judging me because we had our first night was in front of a crowd and it wasn't great.
I was gonna wipe your camera off a little bit, but
is it smudged?
I'm tethered. I think slightly, but
Okay.
only slightly.
Let's fix it.
Give it a little
what have yous. Is it humidity?
little bit of the old "How's your father?"
Oh, has it gotten worse?
Oh, it's okay. Oh, you know what? You have the matte. What's it called? Oh, that is better.
Is
All
it?
right.
Okay. Anyway, here we is. How's our neighbor doing? Are they
They're on.
Oh, they're on now.
Yeah, they're on
okay,
now.
cool. All right. We were better.
Not our first day.
Not our first day, but I didn't come in at 5 knots.
Right.
The guy was humming, dude. You got to approach that shit slow. It's a big boy.
Sneak up on it.
That's
and
a 54, dude. He Captain Ron that thing. Captain Ron's, by the way, his docking technique is very difficult, very ballsy, but was...
I haven't seen that movie since it came out. I was a kid.
I watched it last week in preparation.
You were
for this.
training.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
Bill, get out of your way. Learn that driving the Saratoga.
All right, let's go to our Patreon questions.
Yeah,
if
let's
you
do
want,
it.
If you want to ask questions on the podcast, get your question answered, get car advice, all those things, go to patreon.com.
Look at
The
you.
Smoking Tire Podcast.
Look at you.
Well, you have boat ADHD right now.
I know. I do. That's a good point. I do have
It's
boat
good
ADHD.
though. You're relaxed.
I just wanna judge others like I feel I've been judged. Is that too much to ask? Clap.
I was nice. I was so happy that when the captain came to help us, he was just like, "Let me give you a hand." He wasn't
Yeah.
like, "You fucking moron."
So it was really funny because like we get down here and we're in the lobby waiting for our boat to be ready. And who walks in? My friend Nat Mundy, who I've known for 20 years. He runs HK Motor Cars in Connecticut. They sell race cars and weird cars, Glickenhauses and SSCs and random cars you can't buy in, not random in a bad way, but like exotic cars you can't buy in regular dealerships.
He sells the new stuff Nick Cage would buy in Gone in 60 Seconds, right?
Yeah, the Chimeras, stuff like that. So he just walks in with his wife. They were getting on a boat same day. They got a captain. And so we don't have a captain. And so we end up doing our terrible fucking mooring job the first day right in front of him and his captain. And they were like, "You need a little assist," and I was like, "A little assist is okay." So he got us right, set us up with a bridle technique that served us very well.
Yes,
since then
we've used his techniques since.
But like these fucking Jimmy Buffett ass motherfuckers next to us were cackling, dude, straight cackling. And so now I don't feel bad about cackling myself. It's like. I wasn't that into hazing the next round of people in the fraternity. Mm-hmm. Some people, after having been hazed, were like...
They were really into it.
Oh, dude. Nobody abuses like the abused. Nobody.
Ugh. That's dark. So dark and true. Jesus.
And so some people just couldn't wait. I was like, this is a little sadistic.
Yeah, they were like really excited to have the power trip. And for a lot of them, they were like, I'll never win a fist fight so I can tell these people what to do.
But when it comes to anchoring and mooring and things like that, I will judge.
You know what? Interesting fraternity story. One guy was an ass to all the pledges, but the one he didn't give shit to is my dear friend Chris Bosworth, who was in the wedding party with you. Because Chris knows jujitsu and knew it in 2001, and everybody knew that, and they're like, "Nah, we're not gonna make fun of him." Yeah, that shows you how weak that particular fraternity guy was.
Yeah. All right, to the people. Enough about us and our yachting.
Run GMC says, would you rather have an air conditioning system that keeps the car cool enough just below the level of uncomfortable, or a gas gauge that never reads properly, and an uncalibrated odometer so you always run out of gas half a mile from a gas station?
Oh.
I go AC.
Yeah, AC. I can live with. I've had cars with no AC. I'll live.
I don't want to push a car a half mile every week.
We had the Copper Cobra. The Copper Cobra had no odometer and no fuel gauge and a 5-gallon fuel tank.
How is that? That's like a drag race car. It's not even a road race car.
No, it was for one lap of America.
Oh, so they make it. But, well, all right. So for the track time, you have the lightest tank.
No, I think they swapped the tank after one lap of America. It was, I think, for just like track days and autocross and shit.
Very brief track day.
Yeah.
In a Cobra, you're getting what, 5 miles per gallon?
Yeah.
Let's say 7 and be nice.
I mean,
So you get 8 laps.
I couldn't tell you. I still couldn't tell you.
That's wild.
It might have got 25 miles a gallon. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I have no fucking idea.
6-speed weighs 100 pounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
2,200 pounds.
All right.
I have no idea what the fuel economy was. I never ran out.
All right. Jay Leno's clapped out Kia Amante is planning a road trip with his friends and wants to know what tips you have to create a multi-day enjoyable drive. He knows how to find roads. That's not the question. But what other elements do you look for when you're planning a route?
Well, once you've found the roads, then it's about finding shit to do in the places that you stop, which is usually Hannah's job. But yeah, I mean, making sure that like you're giving yourself time to like find shit. Like, I see a thing that looks interesting. Well, yes, I have time to stop and check that out. Oh, there's a, when I've got to the hotel at 2:00. What do I do with the rest of my day? Maybe it's a hike, maybe it's a whatever. Like if you're just in the car 12 hours a day, you're not going to do anything else. But we don't like to drive more than 200 miles a day anymore because we like to have like at least part of a day doing something, a walk, shopping, like we eat whatever the fuck, So it's like once you found your roads, then it's about making sure that you have like things to engage you once you're like no longer in the car.
Right. The swinging tire. If we had a second podcast that was around a specific theme,
yachts.
Anything.
It would be about yachts.
All right. Yeah, would it be yachts?
It would be such a great excuse to just go out on people's yachts.
That's true.
So, how did you afford your yacht? What is your next yacht? No.
That's how you maximize vacation write-off.
Oh, we could be such assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, politics is attractive, but so complicated and perilous. Like, you need to be really, you need a research team like John Oliver style, I think, or it's so dangerous to get pulled into the different pools. So that would be interesting, but I don't know. I think I could do one on extreme sports stuff. That would interest me again. All right, Randy, you're out. At what point does a boat get too big for it to be reasonably fun to sail? And what's the largest boat you've sailed?
Largest boat I've ever sailed was a monohull, was a 54. I've never sailed anything bigger than that. Length doesn't necessarily make a boat less fun to sail. Width can. When a boat can point close to the wind, that's usually what makes it nice to sail. And if you can steer it without a bunch of effort and kickback, boats have steering feel like cars, and good steering. I bet those racing boats have amazing steering feel.
Wow.
This has absolute garbage. This steering feel on this is heinous.
This is like Jeep Wrangler, just lots of turns, but not a lot of response.
I'd kill for Wrangler steering. It's terrible. What was the question about fun boat? How big can it be before it stops being fun? I mean, anything over 50, 55, it starts to become real tricky to take out by yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't want a boat that's so big I can't take it out by myself.
And then you can't relax for a bit while you're out by yourself.
Yeah.
From Head Gaskets Unworthy.
By the way, that's a real how big is your boat when it's too big? That's a real hoity-toity question.
You need a team. Do we think manual transmission consumer-level cars will hold their value better than automatic counterparts? For example, this person drives a 2019 Crosstrek with a manual and loves it.
That will, for sure. Yeah.
I think stuff that has some kind of enthusiasm behind it. Crosstrek does. Mm-hmm. It does. So when you have that and you add the manual, it's like the, the Honda Element, the manuals. Manual all-wheel drive. Hard to find, good systems, capable of a lot of stuff. Those were popular. All right, this is a long one.
Remember the supercharged Element?
They made that stock? I thought that was something made for SEMA.
Wasn't that an SC? Wasn't it supercharged SC, or was that just did I make up that was a thing? I thought that was a thing. Pretty sure.
That question's too long. Have we considered having James Pumphrey on? I've DM'd him. I don't have a relationship with him, but
I don't. I would ask him. I don't know him that.
Tag him
well.
on his Instagram. Tell him to come on the show. Matt, what car would your cats drive based on their personalities? From Zens.
Well, that's interesting. Cricket would drive a garbage truck. Cricket is the most food motivated cat ever. She's a garbage dumpster, so she would drive a garbage truck. Nikki would be like a real white Jetta girl. Finn is like would be a Bronco. He's like a meathead. Monty would be hitchhiking in the back of a pickup truck.
Nice, which he did.
Which he did.
This is Pumpernickel Country Day School. That's great. Does the appeal of mid-engine dynamics carry through to lower-end offerings like the MR2, the 96, etc.?
Yes.
Now, is it better when compared to similar money in Corvette, Z's, stuff like that? You get more power from a front-engine car,
Well,
for the same money.
Right, but they're not. You know this. They're not comparable.
I mean, the 96 is a much nicer thing to drive. The interior is nicer. It feels more solid in every way. It's got better curb appeal, I think. The Corvette's just faster and louder. Yeah. But the interior looks like it's made from play school play sets.
Yeah. Now, Corvette dynamics are good too, but they're a specific kind. I do think mid-engine cars are worth the premium for their mid-engineness most of the time. The higher performance the car, the more it's worth it.
Yeah. I agree. If it's a real, the third gen MR2, if it's kind of slow, you have to be more tuned in to the dynamic to really feel the benefits, I think, and to be excited by the car.
how much is one of those now? I don't know what an MR2 costs, but it was $15,000. It's like, it's not expensive, right?
Probably less.
Probably less,
Yeah.
right? That's like your cheapest mid-engine car. And they're still pretty good. Like, their baseline of like what is the jumping in point to this is like pretty good.
I think the lower cost mid-engine cars are going to be finesse machines, whereas like a $15,000 Corvette is a sledgehammer. Right. It's got good dynamics too. Like you can put good suspension on it, but the initial experience when it's stock is like loud, fast, and kind of brash.
Yeah.
And that's what you get from Mustangs for the same price. My leaky valve gasket. I want to purchase a second car to take the tracks around the Chicagoland area. For around 45 grand, I can get a Mustang Mach 1 or a Boss 302 that has 10 grand in upgrades. Will the upgrades be that much more worth it over a better interior ride to and from the track in the Mach 1? All right, so modified Boss 302 versus stock Mustang Mach 1.
The key word is Chicagoland. Shitty roads, man. I know if you live somewhere with smooth roads, the Boss 302 is really a gem, but it is the end of the solid axle cars, and there's a lot you can do to make them really amazing, but you really can't make them like better on bad tarmac compared to an IRS. And the Mach 1 is like settled.
It's a great car.
Like mag ride, settled, you know, like it's basically the Shelby without the engine. And with the Tremec.
Right.
I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe a Boss 302. I think a Boss 302 got the Getrag. I don't think it got a Tremec. I don't think any Mustang of that era outside of the GT500 got a Tremec. Right?
I'm looking.
But we have very shit internet here. I mean, I can't believe we have internet at all, but it's slow. Asking Zach to look things up for the show is a potentially...
I mean, I think either way, this person needs to be very honest about how often you're tracking your car. If it's
yeah.
primarily a track car, I'd probably go Boss 302 because what I want from the car starts when I get to the gate of the track.
Sure.
And I deal with the roads on the way there. Same as like a GT3 RS owner. But if you're really, you know, if patrons really just going to go to the track 3 times a year and spend the rest of the time in the back roads or driving around, you want the Mach 1.
Sure.
Is the death of the American sedan a hindrance to organized mob killings? It becomes much harder to hide a body in a trash bag in the back of an Outback or a similar crossover. Given the decline, what is the best reasonably priced car with a spacious trunk available?
But doesn't the tonneau covers though? You know, what do you call it? The luggage covers, the things that, you know what I mean? They're attached to the hatch and they go up like. They're optional, but they're there. You could still hide a body in the back of a wagon or an SUV or a crossover, as long as it's got the luggage cover option.
And as long as it's not smelling too much. If you get pulled over, Honda's not going to hide the smell.
That's a good point. But if that shit is like smelling, you're gonna have you got a couple of problems. So, what is the biggest trunk of a sedan on sale? Effectively, is that the question?
Yeah, probably an LS, right? Or
probably
ES.
the Lexus ES, maybe. That's like that's a car meant for Ubers. You know, an ES is where it's at. How about? I mean, you could say a very base like S-Class Mercedes, maybe. It doesn't have any of the fridges or any of that kind of stuff. Yeah, non-hybrid.
Tall trunk.
Right. I haven't measured the trunks of sedans, to be honest with you. That question to me can be answered as just like, what are the largest sedans on the market?
Sure, but it's the fun way to ask.
But I don't. I mean, I agree. The mob is going to have some problems with that. Yeah.
BMW blinker delete. I'm interested in a bronze diving watch. Other than the Tudor Black Bay, what other brands would you recommend?
Bronze is interesting. Oris makes a bronze that's pretty cool. I think it's a black Oris Diver 65, I think, in bronze. The Tudor is really kind of the best one unless you could find yourself a Panerai Bronzo. If you wanted something cheaper than the Tudor, the aftermarket does have you sorted. You can get a bronze case for a Seiko You could do a Seiko Turtle or a Seiko dive watch in bronze. Custom, I mean aftermarket, but yeah, Carl had one like that. It was pretty cool. Who else does a good bronze that I know of? I'm sure somebody does. Bronze is really interesting because like it like tarnishes, like it turns colors and gets like crusty, and like that's not for everybody, you know, like, and you kind of, I mean, you can sell it, but like not a lot of people are like trying to get your tarnished bronze later. I thought I liked bronze for a minute, but it's heavy as shit, and like if you got a full bronze bracelet, it's really heavy. But if you don't get that, it becomes very top heavy.
Oh, so it spins a lot.
I thought I wanted the Panerai bronze, which was, Carl had that shit, and I put it on. It was like, whoom, like on my wrist was just like, whoom, and just flopping down always. That was why I made a big deal with this watch of having the weight be very even around the wrist. It's very important to like not be like tweaking your wrist one way or the other. But like, yeah. For me, if you're gonna go bronze, it's the Tudor or the Panerai. But the Oris Diver 65 is pretty cool. Also, yeah, Oris makes a nice watch. That's what James May was wearing, the Oris Pointer Date, when he came to visit us. Lovely watch.
David Ruddick, we've seen the news that Honda is basically throwing in the towel on EVs, at least in the U.S. Do we think the Japanese OEMs are better off focusing on ICE and parallel hybrids right now and waiting to see how the EV market shakes out? Or is this something where we look back as the beginning of the end for Japanese OEMs?
Weren't all the Honda EVs on the market and Acura EVs on the market really other platforms like GM's?
Oh,
Like
that's true.
The Honda one and the ZDX are both the GM EV platform, right? Same as the Cadillac Lyriq and the...
Yeah,
all that
they
stuff.
leased GM's tech, right?
Yeah.
The Ultium stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
So, no disrespect, huh?
Yeah, it's a good
are
point.
people coming back?
No, that's a great point. So
No, yeah.
maybe they had to sunset their EV program.
I mean,
because
like,
GM did.
Yeah, or maybe like, I mean, they just, yeah, maybe they were trying to like, you know, maybe they pulled a very smart move, or not smart, but definitely like a move that paid off, where they leased this tech and did a wait and see before investing huge amounts of their own money to see which way the wind blows, and the wind has blown the other way.
Yeah, our patron missed an important detail, which is that yes, Kia, Honda, and Hyundai are canceling their U.S. EV models, but so is GM.
Yeah.
And so if you're getting your tech from GM and GM cancels it, you go, well, I guess I'm canceling my plan too.
Yeah.
There you go.
That all lines up just like a 46-foot cat heading at a mooring. Where's this dude going? This dude's cutting it tight on the reef, isn't
Oh,
he?
very. Ram Sini says, I live in Montana and I blew a tire on my way home from the ice race. I have a Volkswagen All-Track I put on 19-inch wheels with tiny tires. My question is, do I keep the cool wheels and risk blowing another one, or swap to a smaller rim, bigger tire combo? I mean, the roads there were pretty smooth. Like, the tarmac in Montana is pretty good, but I always like more sidewall.
I mean, 19s on an all-track is a lot of rim, but wait, but did he say that he blew the tire because of sidewall?
I think this person blew the wheel. They didn't say how it happened, but based on the context,
Bent the wheel or blew a tire?
blew a tire.
Blew a tire? Oh.
Probably because the sidewall's too small and they hit something.
Possibly. I mean, yeah. Look, I have a Taycan Cross Turismo, and I went from 20s to 21s. So I am not going to throw stones in a glass house of putting bigger rims on a car that's meant for whatever, gravel or something, you know. But
Depends on your environment, you know.
yeah, no. I mean, given the fact that you're in Montana, I mean, maybe you do want to go back to the OE size, you know.
Cayman My Sock says this pen question. What would you recommend for a left-handed person in need of a pen that doesn't cause annoying friction you get from a ballpoint when the ball rolls into the edges of the pen point? This is some real enthusiast stuff.
So I don't
Are there left-handed pens?
There are. I've never paid attention to them. Which, like, sometimes the clip or whatever is like a different way around. I've never used a left-handed pen intentionally. I probably couldn't really tell you what it was about. But, okay, reduce the friction of the ball in the ballpoint. Is that what I was talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you could start by maybe not using a ballpoint pen. Is that? I don't know if that's a dick move, but to say something like that. But like a gel pen, or a different type of a cartridge-based fountain pen, which is what I like a lot. Cartridge-based fountain pens have like no friction. They're so light, and gel pens are lighter to me than ballpoint pens.
Uh-oh.
Has that died?
Yep.
Oh no! Oh no!
Using audio processing software.
Oh no! Really? These were full batteries too, brand new full batteries.
Jeez.
No, that's fucking terrible.
I wonder if you use more battery.
Well,
it's hot.
All right.
Well,
it doesn't feel hot. All right. Well, we'll have to wind this one down.
Okay.
We'll just wind it down at the very end of the program. Thanks for listening for our vacation show. As you can see, the audio recorder is off. It died at some point, and we will have to see when that is. But you will know before we do. We'll be back in the studio next week. Thanks for joining us from our floaty boaty here, and go enter to win this Porsche. Do that in the meantime. The link will be in the show notes, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.